Hello and welcome to Chit Chat and Chill. So, do you ever kind of feel overwhelmed or you kind of don't know how to do something and you want to ask for help, but you feel really weird? Yeah, me too. So, that's what today's episode is about. Like, just how to reach out properly or kind of don't take on so much yourself. There's so many different friends and resources and loved ones that can and will help you and feel glad to do so. So, stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back. So, my name is Antoinette. I'm the owner of Pixel This, which is a full service design firm. So, do you ever look at your business logo and you know you need help, but you don't know how to ask? Well, call me and we'll work through that problem together. But before we start today's episode, let me introduce Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura Fickett. I'm the owner of Fickett Financial Education and Business Coaching, where I love to help people make more money, manage it better, and retain it to build their wealth. If you want to be wealthy, if you're struggling with your finances, if you're fighting with your spouse, or you're stressed out at night and you can't sleep, let's have a free consultation. It's free. It's really no pressure. I'm not a pressure person. As a coach, I really don't want to work with you if you don't want to work with me, honestly. So I'm not going to force you to do it, but we can probably talk about some things that might alleviate some of the stress in that free consultation. Free is for me. Just think about that. Reach out to me and I would love to help. Because our topic today is helping. I love to help. I love to ask for help. I love when people don't want to give me help. And I love when they sigh and I have to force them to help. I love it all. It's fantastic. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. But I think it is hard for guys more so than women. But I think it's really hard for a lot of people to ask for help, especially, I think, you live alone, right? So I'm in the house with my husband. And if there's something, I'm like, honey, can you help me with this? It's a lot of practice, right? Because I'm asking, if I really have to think about it, there's probably not one day that I don't ask him for help with something. Or if he sees me carrying a ladder through the house or something like that, then he automatically wants to help because he feels that there's something amiss.
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going on? She's going to hurt herself. I'm going to take her to the hospital. She's going to ruin something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm that type of gal. Yes. If I say, hey, can we do this? And you're like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do it myself. And then you've been voluntold. But I think for you.
Yeah. Yesterday, for example, I was putting on a car carrier on my car. And so I go outside and I have pins in one of my shoulders, kind of like you can see it. They're Philip's head, But it's I have difficulty with lifting things over my head sometimes. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to lift this on the car. I'm like, this isn't working. And so then I brought out a crate for me to stand on, and that wasn't high enough. So then I had to go find a ladder, and then I put that next to the car. And then I'm trying to get, it would have been so easy. If I had a guy, it would have took him 30 seconds. Okay, here you go.
Probably could have asked a neighbor.
I have difficulty doing that. I do.
Were there any neighbors outside?
Well, there was one guy who sneezed when I was trying to do it, who scared the bejesus out of me, and I just screamed. I'm sorry, that scared me. And then I could have asked him, but his wife probably would have given me the evil eye. They do that. They do that. Sometimes I'm at the grocery store, and if something's on the top shelf and there's a couple, I'll just be like, I'm sorry, can I borrow your husband for 10 seconds? And then the wife's like, I'm like, I just need to reach, the ranch salad dressing.
That's from an earlier episode for sure. I don't know what it is because I think to myself, okay, so what if you ask the neighbor and he says no? Okay, so then you're still doing it by yourself. First of all, let's tell our viewers that you don't need that car carrier if you would just pack less. But anyway, okay. But so in this scenario, he says no, then you're in the same spot, right? That you have to do it yourself. But chances are he's going to say sure and come over. Okay, his wife gets mad. She's not going to be mad at you. She's going to be mad at him for helping. And so maybe he'll never get to help you again. But who cares? You can't control other people's thoughts and feelings. She should be happy that her husband is a generous person that wants to help other people instead of like jealous or upset. So that's her issues that she can work out with her own therapist. And as far as the grocery store, I don't know, maybe look for taller women. There are a lot of people that approach me in the store and they're like, can you get that on the top shelf?
I'm like, Laura, I have to go grocery shopping. Can you go with me?
Yeah, right. It's not beneath me to climb the shelves either.
Oh, I've done that before. The people who work there sometimes get mad, like Spider Woman, come down.
Oh my
like,
God. The box stores or the wholesale clubs, those are the best.
Yeah.
You can get really high.
Yeah.
It's like parkour for free.
Yeah.
But no, you know what the thing is that I think ultimately we want to be able to do everything ourselves, right? This is the problem with, in my life, I have struggled with asking God for help for things because I don't know. I just think like I can do things myself. Finances, you would think, okay, well, she can do them herself, but you should ask God for everything. And so I think it really starts there. Like we didn't get in the habit as kids or whatever of asking God for help. So then when we have to ask other people for help, it's really not built into our nature. I do find that the more I ask God for help, the easier it is for me to ask other people for help. But I also think like it's about planning. So in your scenario, we'll use yours. You decided, okay, I want to put this up here, right? And so the chances of you getting help at that particular moment, really now you have to rely on strangers, neighbors, right?
Yeah.
But if it was like, a week ago and you were like, hey, if you're going to be in my area in the neighborhood or somebody that lives in the next neighborhood or whatever, tell me, like, just text me in the next week when you can stop by for 5 minutes.
Well,
then
I did
it's planned help.
I do have a pre-planned help thing coming up. So my car expired at end of last month, the registration.
Oh, what?
So
wait a second.
No, not different car. So we're okay.
All right. I'm like, wait a second.
No, so different car. So it expired the end of last month. I did get it renewed. But when you live beachside in Florida, everything rusts.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to sit there fighting with these nuts on the license plate. So I have the thing like to get them off and the license plate. So the next time a cop pulls me over, guess who's doing my license plate?
What are you talking about? Like you switched your license?
No, they said like I guess every so many years they give you a new license plate. Like it's probably
like never happened to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Every so many years they're like, oh, you get a new license plate.
Is it on the car you have out here?
No.
Oh.
No, yeah, that's the old ones there. So
but it's on this car that you need the new one put on.
Correct.
Not for nothing, but the guy that records our podcast is quite handy. I'm sure if you asked him for help.
Okay. I have problems.
Practice it. Like, so the way the studio is set up, he's actually right across from her. So let's just practice. Look into the camera, which would be towards Alan.
Alan, could you help me put my license plate on after the show?
No.
I knew it!
He's just messing with her, obviously. But was that so? It was kind of difficult, wasn't it? I could sense it. Like, it was like she was back to being 10 years old again in that.
Well, I think that's part of it, too. Like, I'm the youngest of four. An accident, very well stated. We didn't plan you. We didn't want you. Find your own kindergarten.
All right, you know what? Get over it. My mom told me that if she believed in abortion, I wouldn't be here. So, like, listen, come on. Yeah. Like, we're all tainted.
My sister told me my dad begged my mom for an abortion.
Yeah, right. We're all tainted. We're all messed up.
But it was one of those. So if you just learn not to ask because the answer is no.
Oh, Alan, so you triggered PTSD over here.
So
I'll do it.
No, so it's just one of those, like, I've always been pretty self-reliant. So it's kind of hard when that's how you grow up and that's ingrained in you that, And then the other thing, too, like when I was a little kid, even though I had like brothers and sisters that were older, my mom flipped out one day and just threw all the kids out of the house except for me. Like one was living at a gas station. So like even my siblings weren't around when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, not everybody's like your parents, but think of it this way. Like when you don't want to ask for help, Really, it's because of your inside of your own head and your own emotions. You're like, it's uncomfortable for me. It's difficult for me. It's hard for me. And I find in life that when you become center focused on yourself, that's when things become difficult, right? But if you think about it this way, is that I'm going to use Alan as an example again, who records our podcast. Maybe he likes to help people and he enjoys helping people because he does seem like that kind of person. So kudos to you. But he does seem like that kind of person. And so it actually brings him like satisfaction to help a friend that needs help. So when you think like, I'm actually, not that you're doing him a favor by asking him for help.
I just feel like
but
I'm
it's
a
like,
burden. Like, it's not so much that I have difficulty asking whatever. I just don't want to like burden somebody with my problems. Is more kind of, that's what goes through my head more.
But wouldn't it be wonderful if we lived in a society where you asked him for help and then when he needed help, he asked you for help and we all like work in a community where we help each other?
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy helping people. Like, I'm like the first person that if I see somebody struggling or needing something, I'll
One of the first things I coach people on in my workshop is we all have teams and we just don't realize it and we don't rely on them, right? So in teams, people actually do want to help you. So if somebody says to me like, hey, how was your girls' trip vacation? I'm thinking of doing one with my girlfriends and I help them with advice. Like I feel great about helping them with advice. But if they never ask me, I can't help them. So if you never ask people,
no, it's true.
then you can't help them. Now, don't ask people that you know are incapable of doing whatever it is you're asking them, or don't ask people that you know don't want to help, but there are plenty of helpful people to ask. I do know how to change a license plate as well.
No, but it's one of those, it's like, I guess what I feel bad with or I struggle with is like, let's say I ask and maybe Alan is literally after our show has like something scheduled and he's on a time thing and then he feels obligated and you know what I mean?
Then it's Alan's job to say like, I can't do it this time, but next time we record it, I will do it. Unless you get stopped by a cop. Who probably is not the right person to ask to help you change the license plate, to be fair.
Well,
so it's the fear of rejection or the fear of bothering somebody, but it's not
really the fear of rejection. If they say no, I'd be cool with it. It's more like I just don't want to be a burden or make someone feel obligated to do something that they don't want to do.
But then that's their decision. Everybody's in control of their own life.
True.
Right?
True.
So maybe they need to learn how to say no, and that's their mission in life, that they need to learn how to say no or say I can do it some other time.
Yeah. Because I think, I mean, to your point, I think there are those people that do have problems saying no. And they'll literally, like, they'll go out of their way to be like the yes person, and they end up becoming like a doormat because then everybody lays everything on them.
You should find them and ask them for help. Like, it's the easy ones. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what a job for free.
No, it is true, but you have no control over other people. Like even your neighbor example, like it's his job to say yes or no. Like your thinking stops at you.
Yeah, that's fair. I never really thought of it that way. I just,
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't apply, I think, in a husband and wife situation, because if you say no enough to your spouse, it's going to cause a ripple effect into other areas of your life. But I think in in any kind of romantic partnership, you should feel more comfortable to ask them.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Kids are difficult, though. Like asking kids for help, I think I have gone from the standpoint of not asking. Really, because sometimes I ask my kids for help and they're like, oh, do I really have to? And then we have to get into the argument of, yes, you really have to. So why did I even ask in the first place?
Yeah, just tell them.
You're
doing this.
Like, you're going to go mow the lawn at 2:00 today, and that's that. And so I think you shouldn't ask if it's not really a request. So I think that also makes it uncomfortable. Every time I ask my kids to do something, they don't listen. Well,
then don't ask.
Stop asking.
Yeah.
Stop asking. Because really, you're not asking.
Yeah.
You're just trying to, that's a passive aggressive.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Way. Yeah, that's a very passive aggressive way. So if you've got no's from your kids and you're like, every time I ask for help, nobody ever wants to help me around the house. Like, I remember my father, like God rest his soul, and I loved him dearly. I wish I had longer than 14 years of my life. But he used to guilt me. He'd come in my room at like 6 o'clock in the morning and be like, hey, do you want to go play golf? Which didn't mean I played golf, to be fair. It meant that I carried his clubs with him. Okay, so it was not playing for Laura. Like, it was playing. But anyway, like, we didn't have enough money for both of us to play golf. But I'm happy he dragged me out, because I would be like, I just want to sleep in. And then he would say, oh, I can't believe I had 7 kids. And now I'm going to go there by myself. I have nobody that wants to spend time with me on my only day off and whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'll go. You know? But now he passed away when I was 14. I'm like, I'm so glad he forced me to get out of bed at 6 a.m. and go do those things, because I cherish those memories and those moments. But I do think he could have just said the night before, hey, we're going to get up at 6 and go golfing. And then at 6 came in my room and been like, get up, we're going golfing. And
that would have been better.
It would have been better. I might have still resisted as a child, of course, as a 10-year-old or whatever, but it would have been better than the guilt trip kind of thing. But we did grow up Catholic, and kidding. I'm
Guilty by
Christian.
nature.
Yes. There's really some good points to it, to be honest. Like, you should have a little bit of fear.
The other thing that I notice a lot of people do is, and we kind of touched upon in other episodes, where they're in a work situation or an office situation, and they're busy, and they're working, and they're so busy, and I'm here till 10 o'clock every night and whatever. So again, if you're a manager or you're above other people and you're that busy, it means you're a really bad delegator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're a good manager. It means you're a bad delegator. So you're actually a very bad manager then. So you need, because I know, like, for me, when I onboard people, I have to do a lot in the beginning, but the whole point is at the end of the training, I do nothing and they do everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it is very difficult in the beginning, because I'm like overcompensating, whatever. But I know there comes a point where sometimes they'll be like, well, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, well, or I could always hire somebody else who'll do it. And then they quickly understand, like, oh, okay.
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
She's the boss.
Yeah. I'm like, or when you own a company, then you could decide.
It's a little passive aggressive. It's a little passive aggressive behavior there.
But it is one of those that I think people, like, they'll just wear that busy as that badge of honor.
Well, really, they're confusing busy. Like you said, they're not good delegators. They're confusing asking for help with delegation. Those are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think even as an employee in your scenario, if you're getting a lot dumped on you and you're like, I can't ask for help because I don't want them to think XYZ about me. If you thought a little bit further down the road and you drop some of those balls that you can't, like, you drop some of those tasks or you do poorly on them, they're going to think even worse of you.
Yeah. So it's better off saying, I'm a little overwhelmed.
Yeah,
I need help with this.
It's better to do less well than to do everything poorly.
Yeah.
So, and from a manager's standpoint, I would rather you ask for help, and then I know everything's going to get done and accomplished appropriately, than you struggle and everything's a piece of junk.
Yeah.
And then it takes longer in the long run.
Well, the other thing that I do, like, because I like run teams. So with that, everybody has their assigned tasks, but it's also when you finish your tasks and then you help the other person, because sometimes, depending on the situation, every situation is different, where you might get through yours a little quicker because there's less problems that occur, or pitfalls, and vice versa. So it is a team atmosphere. So we all end at the same time, rather than one person like, oh, well, I'm going to take off and you could work late. That's not how we work. Yeah. So I think that's one of those that you got to build that into a work atmosphere too, like that it is a helpful thing. And when you do need help, I mean, to your point with the golfing thing, if you know you're going to need help, give somebody some advance notice. I think that it's so much easier, because then they don't feel like, oh my God, because I know for me, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm going to do this, and this, but I lead a pretty busy life. So every day I wake up, I know how the day is going to go. At 9, I have this meeting. At 10, I have this. At 11, I have this. So if out of the blue, somebody needs something that's going to take half an hour, I would have loved to help them, but I need to budget that in.
Yeah. The thing about asking for help, I was thinking about like guys not asking for help. If they develop like a team, like you were talking about, where they have a team of guys, I find that they communicate in such a way that they'll say to their guy friends like, oh, I think next week I'm going to build a deck, whatever. And then they want the guys to say, oh, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very passive way to ask for help. If the guys don't ask for help, then they go complain to their wife that, oh, I can't believe nobody wants to help me build the deck. And then she'll be like, did you ask anybody? Well, I mean, I mentioned that I want to do it. Like, so if that's, I mean, that happens to a lot of people. I think it happens to women too, where I'll say like, I want to do something and I'm hoping that people offer, but it's not direct. Like it's not clear. So in those scenarios, I think you just have to add a little sentence on that, right? So like in the deck scenario, you can say like, hey, next weekend I'm thinking of like building a deck. Would any of you, want to help? Like, or could any of you help me? Just add like a sentence onto the end. I think it might make asking for help easier if you explain, like, I don't like when people come to me like, hey, can I ask you for help with something? I'm like, my brain
Like
goes into 1,000 different directions.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh my gosh, if I say yes and it's something I don't really want to do. And like, so if you give me the groundwork first and you're like, hey, Laura, I'm really having a hard time with budgeting. Could you help me with that? Of course. Like that, I'm going to say yes. And they're like, hey, Laura, I know your husband has a pickup truck. Can you help us move? No.
Well, the other thing that
everybody with a pickup truck was just like, we can relate.
Yes.
U-Haul rents these people. Come on now.
The other thing that I noticed, and I think this is kind of more guy specific, where like, oh, I'm helping this one move, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then they'll have something that they need help with, but they don't ask. And I'm like, well, you just helped this one move and this one do this. Like, why did you ask them? And they're like, no, I want to keep those in the bank. Like, they always want to have more helps out than in. Like, they're keeping. Have you noticed this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, that's a total guy thing. Like,
they're keeping score.
Yeah, which I think is just kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I've had years of my life that I've gone through a lot, and I don't have as much to give as other years. And other years, they're going really good. I'm more than happy to go. And you can't keep score. Life's about just.
And if you're not asking for help, I want to tell you this story. Like, I have had friends come to me and retroactively and say like, oh my gosh, like I did this and it was so difficult. And like, I wish I had asked somebody for help. Da, da, da. And I'm like, oh gosh, like, I think like, why didn't they just ask me for help? Like, or why didn't they just ask somebody for help? Like somebody can't go back and help you, but I really think you should offer, like, because there are people like me, like I said, if I have the capacity to do it, I'll say yes. If I don't have the capacity to do it, or it's something I really despise, like I don't like moving. And I have 4 kids, 3 of them in and out of college so many times and whatever, like, I think I have had.
You're moved out.
I moved out for a little. Like, we're done here. Like, driving up and down the coast for some of those from Massachusetts to Florida. Like, I'm tapped out. Go find somebody that hasn't moved in like 5 years. Like, they're probably still fresh again. But I think what's the harm in somebody asking me? Here's what happens with the scenario. Okay, so Antoinette would ask me. Like, I would help her probably with anything. So this is a bad scenario, but let's pretend we don't know each other that well. And she would say like, Laura, can you help me with something? And I say, oh my gosh, I would love to, but I'm so busy. Like, I can't. And so then she walks away. I don't think of the fact that I told her no again. So if you're thinking like, oh, I don't want to ask her because like, what's she going to think? I won't think about it again. I'm not going to think a week later, like, I can't believe she asked me for help with that. Like, it's done. Like, I said no. She's moved on. She's going to go find other help. So if you're worried that the person you're asking is going to, like, continue to think about it, yeah, there might be some of those people that wrote it down. I don't know, whatever. They shouldn't be your friends anyway. That's a whole nother topic. But then she asks me for help, and I say yes. She says, Laura, your husband has a pickup truck. Can you help me move? And I'm like, oh, man, I love Antoinette. Like, I should tell her I don't like moving, Antoinette, but if you really need help, like if you can't find anybody else, I will. I should tell her the honest answer. But if I don't and I say, yeah, sure, we'll help you. And I'm like, hey, honey, like, we got to help Antoinette move. And he's like, oh, my shoulders. And
His
he's like,
shoulder's still bothering him.
okay, I know.
I think he's keeping that on the back burner for everything.
But anyway, like, I got to drag him into it, which he loves, that kind of stuff. But like, then we help her. I do usually feel good after I'm done helping. Like even if you gave me the negative feelings in the beginning and you asked me to do something I don't want to do and whatever, I 9 times out of 10 feel good after like that we've done whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you've actually given the person like some negative feelings, but you've given them some positive feelings too. Like it really does. Like after you've done it, you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
She asked me to move like, on August 2nd when the sun is at like its hottest in Florida and she wanted to do all this stuff. This is not a scenario. She would never do that. And I would totally say no. But but we did move into our house in Florida in the beginning of August. And one of our friends from Massachusetts overheated.
Well, I told you the story with Josh, right?
You got to move in before kids start school. That's the problem. We got to go. Tell it quick.
Oh, no. Okay, so
or
next
unless it's
No, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. But no, so next week's topic is about people that are just either really nice, really cruel, whatever, like dealing with animals and kind of how that reflects on your personality type and whatever. Because I think there's all different types. You can be actually too nice to animals to the point where something's
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's a little like psychotic.
Where you put it before people.
Yeah.
Like your pet parakeet is
Like
more important
something.
than your children.
Yeah.
Like that's
No, I've seen that. Yeah.
I know. It's
So-
gross. Or like, your dog eats filet mignon and your kids eat canned tuna. Like, let's go. Come on now. Right?
Or the only new clothes you bought last year were for your poodle.
So there's that side. But then there's the other people that they're like, I hate dogs. Like, or I hate cats, or I like
they abuse them.
Or they're just nasty about it. Like, okay, maybe you don't like dogs or cats, but then then you don't own one and you don't talk about them. Like, why do you gotta be so mean about it?
Yeah.
Or then we can talk about like the nasty habits some people have. Like, I don't let the dog sleep in my bed.
No, I think that's gross.
Yeah. We'll talk about that next week though.
Yeah.
About pet ownership. Because I think if you're mean to pets, you should go to jail. I think really they should be taken away from you because they have no say. And it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
But until then, never stop learning.
And never stop laughing. That was like such a worst segue ever.
It's fine.
You should
Who
go
cares?
to jail, but never stop laughing. You might get a new boyfriend. You're behind bars.
You mistreated your bunny. Now you're going to the green roof in Flagler.
Now you're going to be someone's biatch.
She took it too far. That's why you got to watch all the way to the end. See you later.
things are truly better with us.